and welcome again to day one of Technology for Marketing Live. My name is Naoko Wari, hosting for Disruptive Live, and we are here, right here at Olympia. I am joined by Daniel Feasey, who is the Marketing Director at Bell Integration. How are you, Daniel?
I'm very much head of marketing, but
Head of marketing,
I don't want to get above my station, you know. Okay.
No, I like that. Throw that in there. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, my role with Bell Integration as head of marketing is basically to drive the company forward, make clear and concise messaging that's relevant to our customers, drive campaigns, lead generation, and a certain amount of sales enablement as well, really, sort of helping the salespeople have the collateral and the service levels that they need in order to do their jobs, really. In being in charge of the website and a lot of the different channels and media that we use as well, really, so in a nutshell.
Wonderful. Tell us more about how you see the customer relationship and how it affects marketing campaigns.
Well, the customer, it's all about customer engagement and the connected customer. The customer is all powerful, really. They have access to an abundance of information out there, and it's almost like near perfect information what they find, so they almost over-research a considered purchase. And I think that's the same for a B2C as well as it is to a B2B customer, in all honesty. And that level of connection, all the information is there to be had, really. There's an array of tech, an array of tools and applications that can be used to harvest that information for your campaigns. So whether it's clicks and opens on some of the simple stuff, but it's the who, what, when and where the customer actually engages for it. That's why I kind of saw it, and that's now a driving force for it. No longer can we just sell the customer and what we think. We've got to go and ask them what they think now. They're more or less important for it.
That's a great response.
Yes, thank you. I mean, that comes with a massive challenge as well, to that abundance of data and that richness of data. It's understanding that is phenomenal, really, and actually harnessing that and making meaningful and personalised campaigns is kind of key to actually make any money anymore. I mean, I think the customer's almost browbeaten into submission in the amount of information that we throw at them for it. Therefore, you've got to find different ways to engage and different ways to interact with them.
Absolutely.
Really.
I completely agree with you. How would you say that AI affects marketing, tech, campaigns, websites?
AI, I think AI is at its infancy. It's certainly going on to do great things, really. Now, with AI, it can smooth processes, it can deal with the mundane, it can deal with the initial interaction for it. I don't think at this point in time it will replace human beings, thank God. But say some of the applications I've seen, and actually one of the applications I'm looking at for one of my websites is an AI chat box. So there's an initial amount of information and programming, and then the AI chat box will learn the questions and learn the responses and then push that person down to the correct route. So the idea of that, if someone asks a question, what time do you open and close? The AI bot goes, oh, well, it was closed at 5:30, so it's as easy as that. It doesn't bother anyone, the phone line's not taken up, that person can carry on selling, that receptionist's time's not taken up. But then it can be far more sophisticated now. They can actually answer pricing questions, they can gather information from the person as well to actually save that telemarketer presence, that physical person being at the other end, really. I mean, I think with the dizzying array of different channels actually out there, I think it's a Salesforce actually identified 10 different channels and the way the customer can actually communicate with an organisation. And it's a customer coming to the organisation and they almost expect that level of interaction, expect that and demand that level of interaction. So some of the channels could be, say, the website, mobile apps, the good old-fashioned phone call kind of thing, texting, all sorts really. I say I don't want to go bore anyone in too many details on it, but they identified at least 10, and they might go to 10 separate resources to find information on you and expect a two-way conversation on that resource. So it presents a huge wealth and varied wealth of information, and that's where AI can step in and analyse that with data management tools as well, and make sense of that data, and then basically explain how best to contact that person, their likes, dislikes, how they want to be engaged. Because the customer is king, really, on this kind of stuff. But no, AI is exciting, but it's not quite there yet, really, I would say, for it. So
there's a little way to go.
There is,
yeah.
There is. I mean, it's. I think it can be very, very useful for the travel industry. Kind of thing, can be used to kind of set demand pricing and recognise sales patterns. So, as we know, when you book a flight, if you go on again and again, then that flight will go up because it recognises the IP address of where you book it. And that's an AI or a clever piece of tech about making more money for the organisation at your expense, unfortunately, for it. But also setting hotel pricing and recognising that kind of thing. So, and scarily enough, I actually found out the other day that it's actually dipping into copywriting and creative writing. So that's me out of a job then, really. And well, it's that. Maybe I can fire my copywriter. Who knows, kind of thing. So yeah.
Just join our team.
I'm not sure about that.
Daniel, how would you say physical tech is affecting you?
Well, it's something I'm happily quite involved with, and I've been involved with for about the last 15 years. I mean, part of Bell Integration, they own the largest IT and AV rental company, Hamilton Rentals. And Hamilton's has kind of been around since 1972, and it's old as the hills. Kind of, it started renting electric typewriters from the very, very beginning, and now they've moved on to gadgetry and tech and the impressive stuff. I mean, recently we were contacted by a very large fashion retailer as Hamilton Rentals, and we put 8K digital signage. So I say 8K, it's super, super high res. It makes your head a metre wide kind of thing on the side of it. So you see all the wrinkles and all the nuances, unfortunately, for it. It's not a great look for anyone, but we had those in all their shop windows during the Christmas rush to drive footfall. They then used a dynamic cloud to drive contact. So they basically, and that content could be tactile. So if it was raining outside, they could say, right, buy umbrellas. If it was cold, they would do jumper offers. And it even went one step further than that. It went to facial recognition, which has its own foibles as well, where they'd look at it and turn around and say, young woman, these are the offers that we've got. And thankfully it got it right most of the time, so it didn't insult the customer too much. But that level of personal interaction, so you're going into a store, and there's no reason to go to the high street anymore because of the likes of Amazon. So they've really got to do this retailer. So walking into and saying, actually, I'm coming in, these are the trainers that I want. And yes, obviously I'm a middle-aged man, hopefully it picks up on that, and it says, right, there you go to this part of the store, or it even gives you a selection of what's coming up, and this is what we've got in stock, this is on sale, click this, it'll be waiting for you at the retail, at the checkout. So it's smoothing that process, really. And AI, obviously, with the facial recognition and learning what customers want is all part of that. But with the AV side of the business, there's also an element of some of the other stuff that comes in, like mirrored screens. I don't know if you come across those. So it's an AV screen, but it's also a mirror, then it can put the clothing on you as well. Have you seen those?
Yes, I have.
That's a bit old, that tech now, to be honest, but it's still impressive, to be honest. So I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to stuff like that. But I think it's also stepping back from that, but it's also style matching as well. So something could actually see what you're wearing and suggest clothes that are of the same style. And I think, a very large major shopping retailer, and that wouldn't be limited, that could be done online as well. They could send them a picture of the trainers that you wear that you love, and then get another pair exactly the same if you're boring, kind of thing for it. So
I'll be left with no money.
I mean, that's the problem as well, to be honest. Or I have other people that spend my money for me these days, to be honest.
I could do that as well, so I could save mine.
But I say the tactile advertising is extremely powerful. That then makes it more personal, more engaging. So it goes back to my previous point. And even though that's B2C, it was another company coming to Bell for that solution at the end of the day for it. They said, we need help digitalising our storefront, our shop window. Quite exciting project, really. And they carried on. They extended it on and on and on and on. I mean, other tech that we get involved with is virtual reality and artificial reality, and they're all the goggles as well. And I sort of saw a pair over there that Dan, the owner, obviously had. It was showing me the other day, and it's another thing that the company does. It puts VR and runs VR events, and virtual reality can be used for training, well, for the events as well, for visiting showrooms, that kind of stuff, about getting out of your seat for it. And again, that's kind of the limits of that is only really just starting from what it can actually do. It's caught on a bit, but not as much as I thought everyone would want to, certainly with our company. But it's still a popular rental product we find for it. What other tech do we get involved in? It's a little bit old, but RFID, I don't know if you know what that is. That's radio frequency identity devices. You can see why they call it RFID now, at the end of the day. But
Easier to remember.
that is very simple. That's literally a paper armband with a chip inside. It's quite scary. You can turn your event into a cashless event. So it should be used at festivals because it would cut down on ticket touts. That ticket then belongs to you.
Right.
So when you scan in, you'll get a message to your social media saying, welcome to the event, blah, 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 blah. This is what's going on. This is the lineup. This is where you need to go. And if you want to charge up your armband, put £50 in it so you can buy a couple of glasses Prosecco or a a few beers or whatever you want to do, or coffee.
Massive, and we're saving trees.
And absolutely.
Yeah.
And it queue busts as well. And I say we work with a couple of partners on that, but we've enjoyed the partnership putting that into events and watching the results off the back of it. It also adds like an access level and a secure access level to it. And one of the funny things, I think we put it into a corporate event, and it was actually you went up and scanned and went and got your lunch, and a couple of people come back to try and get another lunch, and it stopped them.
Of course, I thought that would happen.
So it cut back on glass for it. But, so RFID, again, it's a bit old technology, but it's still going. And voting solutions as well, something that Bell and Hamilton get involved as well. And again, that's very old technology. And that's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire voting handsets. And we actually done a very good project with the Noel Coward Theatre going back. It's 900 people attending the theatre for this play. And do you remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the coughing major? Do you remember the coughing major?
I'm not that young.
But the well, I remember that one, and they based the play on it. And they let the audience vote on the outcome on the major where they thought he was guilty or not. And the handsets are in there to be voting on.
It's a good way to engage.
Exactly. It goes back to my initial point where I was banging on about customer engagement and customer connection as well. And it's a fun way of doing it as well. It's a physical device, which I don't think you'll step away from, and it's a physical device, can be done on your phone, but a little handset that no one wants to walk away with, hopefully, kind of thing, that can be reused again and again and again. And it's a relatively cheap solution for it. But the play won lots of awards and that kind of work, and it was nice to be a small part of that as the organisation, really.
I have one last question for you, Daniel,
Certainly.
before I have to let you go. Is the customer always right?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for, but it's been wonderful speaking to you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Pleasure
you
to meet
once
you.
again. Don't go away. We will be back shortly, but you can join the conversation by tweeting us. Use the hashtag TFM Live 2019 and hashtag Disruptive Live. See you shortly.